Okay, so I had a special request for working with stiff lower back. So I was super excited about this because I need that too. So we're gonna just dive right in. You can get on the floor. If you've got a yoga mat, a rug would be nice, some cushion for your knees. If nothing else, get on the bed and do it there. Okay, so we're gonna start in what's called child's pose. Big toes together. The knees can come together or wide. However that feels most comfortable. You can take a roll blanket under the tops of your feet or between the thigh and the calf. And we're gonna come on down and just reach forward. Let your forehead rest to the floor, to the mat, to the bed. Maybe you're gonna rock a little in your hips. Just let go of any tension. That pressure to that space between your eyebrows can be really calming. Let's just take a deep breath in and sigh it out. And as you inhale, I want to expand into the belly, into the side ribs, front and back ribs. Everything is expanding. Feel that space with oxygen, exhaling and letting go completely. Give your body some love. Nice. When you're ready, you can hang out there as long as you like, but we'll have to move for our video purposes. Let's inhale. We're going to come up into a tabletop position, hands and knees. So we're just going to move through what's called some cat-cows. And I'm going to curl the toes under. Inhale and open up the chest. Lift the tailbone, lift the chin. And exhale. We're going to round the back like a cat. Ooh, that feels so good. I've been working in the yard all day, so I need this. Inhale, open up the heart. Lift the chin, lift the tailbone. Exhale and round. And you can even draw like some big circles through the trunk of the body, like you're jump roping your spine. Oh, feels really good. You can let your hips rock from side to side. So just kind of moving freely, explore your body, explore what feels good for you. Nice. So from here, we're going to come into just a moment of stretch into the thoracic spine into what's called heart to earth pose. So we're going to reach the arms forward, hips stay stacked over the knees. And this time just sort of letting your heart melt down into the mat and the belly reaches back towards your thighs. So just a few deep breaths here. Chin or forehead can come to the mat, but the chin is a pretty dramatic stretch. Nice, and as you're ready, we'll just rock it forward into my favorite Sphinx pose. So we're gonna reach each leg long behind us. Elbows are under the shoulders or maybe even a little ahead of the shoulders. Pressing into the forearms, roll the shoulders down and back and lift your chest broad across the clavicles. If you're feeling tension in your lumbar spine, your low back, you can step the legs wider. The big toes sort of point toward one another and your heels roll away from each other. So you'll feel a more internal rotation in your thighs. If this feels good, hang out here for a few breaths, or you can take it a little bit deeper. Hands come out about 45 degrees. And inhale, lift the chest, extending the arms, little squeeze to the glutes, just to keep your low back safe. This is wonderful. Nice, now we're gonna slowly lower down, all the way down to the belly. And we're gonna open up through the hip to give our quadratus lumborum, there's a muscle here in your low back, a little bit of slack. So we're just going to let the left knee slide up, working towards bringing it to a 90-degree angle to the belly. You can come back up to your forearms or just rest here and just let your hip and your groin just kind of melt down in towards the mat. Just take a few deep breaths here. This feels amazing. I woke up pretty grumpy this morning, but I made myself go on a trail run, and I'm so glad I did, because while I was out, I I started feeling a lot better. I started channeling my inner Mel Gibson and Braveheart vibe, maybe Forrest Gump, Trans-American Run vibe. Oh, but yeah, it really helped, but this stretch is helping. So we're gonna let that leg slide back out, and we're gonna do the other side. I always wanna keep it balanced, and just notice when you're in these shapes, if one side feels a little different than the other, and we all have imbalances, it's perfectly natural. Just bringing awareness to that, letting your body inform you by just listening. It's a beautiful way of showing yourself some love. I'll just take a few more deep breaths here. Again, you can be all the way down to the belly or up in your forearms, as I've chosen to do. And when you're ready, we'll just reach both legs long. Come all the way down. Shake your hips gently, slowly, or quickly, whatever feels good. Nice. So next thing we want to look at when we're tense in our low back is our hip flexor and our quad, which we were already sort of getting into. But we're going to reach back and take the top of the foot and sort of pull the heel in towards your seat. If that's too much too, you can grab a towel or a belt, wrap it across the top of your foot and just sort of pull it in until you feel an edge of sensation for you. So this might not feel great for some people. I'm thinking this is probably one of the more gentle ways of stretching the quad. But I'm thinking I might make a video of some other ways. There's so many different shapes you can take to stretch and get some space in that low back. So let's go ahead and take the other side. And just take some deep, sweet breaths. And just kind of imagining your breath moving into those areas where you're feeling the stretch. Carving out any tension that may be resting in there. And as you exhale, just let it go. Soften. Nice. We're going to release there. And we're going to come all the way onto our back. So you can just flip onto your back just so you can see me better. I'm going to roll this way. Nice. And so let's just go ahead and bring the knees into the chest in gentle circles with the knees. Just little movements here. You're drawing circles around your sacrum or that little bony triangle at the base of your spine. Maybe moving with your breath as you inhale, extending the legs long, and exhale, hugging them in. Hamstrings, the back of the thighs, is another part of the body you want to look at if you're tense in your low back. Nice. Now we're going to let the feet come back to the mat. Reaching the arms towards your heels, knees stack over the heels. And we're going to do a little bridge flow. So really press your shoulder blades, the low back, and your heels into the mat. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're just going to rise up one vertebra at a time, pointing your tailbone to the front of the mat. And your pubic bone is sort of pointing towards your sternum, your chest bone. Take a deep breath in here. And exhale. See if you can lower back down one vertebra at a time. Oh, that's so good. Just do a few of these. You can even sweep the arms overhead. Inhale while you're up. And exhale, take it down. Inhale here. And exhale, rising up. Inhale. And exhale down. Nice. Let's again bring the knees into the chest. Make some little circles. Nice. And taking it down, we're going to come into a reclined pigeon. So the right ankle is going to come at the base of the left thigh. And here you can just sort of, see what we get to see this shape. You can just sort of let it rock from side to side if that feels good.
Or maybe you're drawing the knee in towards the chest. You can flex your feet. Notice how that changes things. Let your shoulders relax down into the mat. Deep breaths. This is a great one after a run. Yeah, this is nice. Nice. As you're ready, we'll let the left foot come back down to the mat, and we're gonna twist. I like to twist in this shape, so I'll just let this whole thing fall to the left. There's my foot. Right shoulder relaxes down to the mat. If that's not really feeling good for you, you can bring it back to center and just stack your knees one on top of the other and let them come down to the side. It's a great stretch for the low back, actually the whole body. I feel it in my rib cage. Deep breaths. Now just stay here as long as you'd like, or exhale, bring your knees to center. Maybe give them one more stretch up towards the sky. And we're going to take that pigeon pose second side. Bending the right knee, outer ankle comes to the base of the right thigh. And here you can just sort of rock and kind of press that knee away from the left shoulder. Or you can draw it in. Get yourself a good stretch here. This is going to be working those glutes, the piriformis. You can even straighten out the right leg here. If that feels good, get a little stretch into the hamstrings. Lots of ways to play and give our body love. Nice. Now when you're ready, we're going to take that twist and stick to the same variation that you chose for the first. So you can let this figure four kind of fall to the side, or the knees can stack one on top of the other. Let it fall to the side. And let the opposite shoulder fall into the mat. And you might even gaze out across the shoulder. So you're bringing that twist all the way up the spine. Deep breaths. Nice. As you're ready, we'll bring it on back to center. Maybe reach the legs along and maybe even do a little rock and roll. I love doing this. It's so much fun. Along the length of the spine. And if that doesn't feel good for you, you can always skip it. And we'll come all the way up. Nice. There are a lot of things you can do to bring some space into the lower back, but I hope that that is a gentle, helpful way to start to open up some of those problem areas associated with the low back. And maybe I'll put together some others, because this is a really great spot for a lot of us to bring some space. Anyways, thank you for taking the time with me. I really hope it helps, and I hope you have a beautiful evening and a great night's sleep. Namaste.